Alright, today we're going to talk about the differences between an MS171 and an MS170. I ended up acquiring both of these saws. I purchased the 170. I had a customer of mine donated this saw to me. It had a burnt piston, and I rebuilt the engine in it, put new piston rings and everything, and it runs. But let me talk about the things I like and the things I don't like. First, I'll talk about the 171, all the things I like about it. Quick, I know it's not on there, has a quick disconnect, no hands-free for the air box, the hands-free for the oil and the gas, super nice. Has isolator springs. The air filter is a secured air filter. This is actually the OEM one. Sorry, I dropped it. This is actually the replacement. You put it in there, and it just snaps in. Super nice. What else? The spark arrestor is super easy. You just pull it out. You don't have to unscrew anything. Super easy to clean, change the spark arrestor. I love this air filter, how easy and simple this is. That's about all the things I like. Now let's talk about the things I don't like. I don't like the fact it has this the smaller spark plug. I wish it had the big plug. It's the 7A, BPM 7A. Standard spark plug for almost all Stihl. I don't like the fact you have to use a tool to remove the air box. You have to change the fuel. You need a tool, screwdriver, flathead screwdriver. I don't like the fact that this air filter, now this is the upgraded one, and this is what I would say, if you do buy the saw, get this two-piece. It's got the dense material on the inside and light material on the outside. It's a little stiffer, stays in place better than the one that comes with it. Things I like, this engine. Actually, you have to unscrew this to get the spark arrestor off. Also, I'm sorry, the 171 has a side adjuster for the chain adjuster, but only one bar nut, so that's kind of stinks. The 170, granted, you can upgrade the 170 so it has the side adjuster, which I did. It's like $24, 25 bucks, but it has actually two bars, which is a much better setup. I also upgraded the with the whatchamacallits, and I put a 14-inch bar on both these saws. Also, the 170 is about a pound, a little bit over a pound lighter. Huge difference when you're talking, using the saw all day. Granted, this has the metal isolators, this has rubber ones, but surprisingly, the 171, you'll get more fatigued because the throttle is extremely hard. The way they designed it, it's terrible. Where the 170, the throttle is feather light. You don't have to use any fingers. It's just a push-pull setup, and it's super light. I would say, like, maybe a tenth of a pound. They also, while we're getting to it, you can see the engine. This has cooling fins on the tops. This has them on the sides. The engines are completely different. They have the same horsepower. This one, but they're rated the same horsepower. But when you use these saws, you're going to see a huge difference. The 170, even though it has a smaller engine, the throttle response is 10 times better. This is very laggy, seems to be underpowered, and once you do some total ripping these things apart, you see there's some differences with the carburetor, but the big difference is with the piston and rings. The 171 only has one ring on the piston. The 170 has two rings. Way better compression, and you could feel it when you hit the throttle. It's whapa, it wraps. So I like the 170 better than the 171. surprisingly, just because the internals and the engine, and even though they're rated the same power, even though the 170 is a smaller engine, the 170 feels more powerful. I'll take all the rough stuff with that. What else? Oh, the linkage for the throttle. Or I mean the starting. Let me put this cap back on so there. When you put this thing in choke, when we do this one, they both go in there pretty easy. But when you lock this one down into choke, you lock this one down into choke. Once you get it to burble, I call it burbling, you click it up. It's very responsive. You know where it is. This one, you click it up, and it feels cheap. It doesn't feel like it's got a positive engaged, the way the plastic and engagement mechanism. And when you hit the throttle and this goes into run mode, it's there. It doesn't want to wobble. It stays where it is, and it feels like that's where it belongs. With this one, when you hit it, you can barely hear it, and it's really loose. It doesn't feel, and they're all like that. I went to the Stihl store and I looked them over, and they're all the same. So, which one would I pick? Surprisingly, the 170, maybe even a 180 for the money, just because it has a bigger engine, a little bit more power. But that's my take on the comparison between the 171 and the 170. Any comments you guys have, let me know. You know, the 170 has an air intakes right here. The 171 pulls the air in from here and pushes it all the way up through the saw. So it kind of like pulls more hot air, I would say. But that's it. Have a great day. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.